Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM podcast. My name is Manny Coates, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AMPM podcast. As a matter of fact, we have a ping pong table at work, and me and Guy were just having a championship bout. And while we were trying to emulate Olympic pongers, I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hey everybody, Manny Coates here. I'm here with my good buddy Norman Farrar. Norman, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Are you making money?
I'm trying.
Awesome. Good. Well, I wanted to have you back on the show. We talk. Norman and I are good buds, and we hang out at conferences. We talk whenever there's usually when I have questions, Norman's the guy I go to. I'm like, dude, I'm stuck. What do we do here? And if you guys missed our podcast, check it out. Norm just drops tons and tons of nuggets. I don't remember what episode it is, but go to ampmpodcast.com and just do a search for Norman, and you'll see it. But I talked to Norman. I said, you know what would be cool is if you came on the show on a somewhat regular basis, whenever you have some time. Let's just kind of do like a month in review or a week in review, depending on whenever it is that we're on together, and talk about topics that are hitting the Amazon space right now. And so we finally found an hour where we can actually jump on together. And Norm's like, man, I've got some cool stuff we got to talk about because it's affecting a lot of people, right? At least the stuff that I know of. And there's some stuff that I don't even know about that he said, you said, just happened within like the last hour.
Right. Yep.
So I, you know what? I mean, how's business, by the way, first of all?
Really good. Things are going really great. There's a lot of people struggling. But this is where, it's the old Amazon ebbs and flows. You just got to make sure that you're on it. And as long as you can get on it fast enough, then you should be good.
Yeah. And you recently, I know a lot of people actually just got hit with some serious stuff that affected their business. I think last week for you, in fact, right? What happened?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So best-selling product. This is actually a client's best-selling product, but it's also my best-selling product. Got delisted. 100% delisted. In the middle of November, what do you do? So anyways, everything was okay, but we ended up finding or calling Amazon and trying to figure out what has happened. At first, they couldn't tell us. We called back probably 2 or 3 times, and that is something you have to do. If you don't get the first answer, call back. And then we got somebody that said, look, your product's been delisted. Why? We don't know. Oh, okay, we'll do some digging, and it turns out that they pulled it for ingredients. Just for an ingredients check. And so it's a topical product. It's an ingredient. They just wanted to make sure that not a laboratory, just that the ingredients on the bottle match the listing.
But how do they do that? How are they checking that?
I guess they're just pulling it. So they delist it while they do it. They make sure that what's on the bottle matches the listing. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, you're going to do a lab test. What happens if something's wrong? No. It was just that. And of course, that took in that's probably $5,000 to $10,000 a day in sales for that one. I mean, it was a great selling product.
How long were you offline?
4 to 5 days.
Oh, okay. So now that you're back, did you immediately jump back into that same position, same sales velocity that you had?
Not quite, but I'll tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I went over to the Helium 10 podcast and had my VA take a look at it, went through it. I said, look, we got to make sure that we not only get those keywords listed. We want to make sure. Oh, this was one product that we never changed the keywords. We did it on the parent-child variations. We all had 250 characters. We never did it on the main one. And we didn't want to change the main one because it was doing so well. But now it's listed. We went back and we said, all right, let's go check this out. Not only did it get listed using your technique, which is incredible, 12 Amazon seller choice badge. So it's there, it's ranking, we've got it, but now we just got to drive some traffic to it.
You said Helium 10 podcast.
Our Helium 10 blog. You have a video on there.
You're going to have 1,000 people searching for the podcast. Like, what is this podcast he's talking about?
Sorry.
No, but that's cool. Yeah, guys, check out the blog. It's helium10.com/blog, and you can check out everything. So, well, cool. So I'm glad you got it back up. It only cost you, a Tesla, or give or take, right? But there's and I should say, you're not the first person that said that. Didn't this whole topical thing like affect a ton of people? And isn't there something happening that by December, was it December 8th or something like that?
Yeah.
Everybody has to do something.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was shocked when they said, I said, why is this getting, we already put in our specs, all like the manufacturer data sheets. Everything was already approved once. Why are we doing it again? Oh, we're pulling, get this, 100% of topical products in doing this. So if it hasn't happened now to your listing, get prepared and just make sure that the label matches. And you're right. They're coming on and you have to reapply for topicals.
Reapply? What do you mean by reapply?
You know what? What I'll do is I'll make sure that you get a copy of the email that was sent over to me, so you can put it into the podcast later.
Or you know what? I'll tag you when this thing is posted, and we could just paste that. You can just paste it right into a comment. That'll be easy. Yep. That way it's there. But yeah, what's next? What else is going on in this space?
Well, yeah, when we started talking, the one thing that I just noticed, I was talking to Dan Fernandez over at Thomason, and we were just kind of comparing some notes. And I went into my my Seller Central account, and I noticed under advertising, under promotions, there's a new category called social media coupons. And it's pretty cool. So what this does is this allows you to create a coupon between 15 and 80%. Okay, that's all you can do. And it creates a unique URL for you. Now you can have multiple, like when you go into your product selection, you can create multiple SKUs or multiple ASINs to be associated with this, as long as, here's the trick, not every product's going to be approved. So you have to check it out and submit it, and sometimes you're going to get a notice that a certain product wasn't approved. So what I'm doing is I'm going back, when you go into the coupons, there's product selection. So every product that I have that is approved for the social media, I'm just marking SM eligible. That way I understand if I've got 100 coupons or 100 products, I know which ones are available right now. So I went ahead and I did it. And what it does is once you present the coupon, or once you create the coupon, it takes 4 hours to generate, you get a URL. And that URL you can post on social media. And and what it'll do is it gives you your own landing page.
So this would be good for, if you want to, I guess if you want to offer a smaller discount, start generating some good sales. Could you use this? Is there a way have you thought of it? Is there a tactic or strategy to use it for ranking in any kind of way? Or
it's still fairly new for me, but here's what I would do. Because I still don't want to drive that traffic directly over to Amazon. I'm still kind of leery about that because of conversions. So what I would do is I take that URL and, probably create an audience and like a lookalike audience. Maybe it's the guys that are already your customers, and give them that 15 or 25% coupon, for either a cross-promoted product or something that you just want to start moving. It's the season. If they're going to be on Amazon in November, they're buying, and they're buying a lot. So that's probably the way to use it. Now, will it rank? Well, it's sales velocity, right? So if you can get that product moving, then yeah, by all means. I mean, it's going to be it should be able to improve your rank.
So that'll be BSR, but for keyword ranking, you can't put special keywords or anything in these URLs, right? Do you know? Well, it's too early to tell, I guess.
Oh yeah, there is a way, I think.
Is there?
Well, it depends on how it's set up, and I'm just trying to work that out over at Thomason. So, is there a way that you can put the super URL into a coupon code that would drive the person over? So that one I'm working on, and I'll get back to you on that. But the other thing I was talking about is that when you're driving that traffic over from, even if it's just on your post, if you've got a good following, or if you're boosting the post, or if you're creating a Facebook ad, you want to make sure that you've got that landing page. Just some buffer between you and I don't care if like 10 people go over or 100 people go over. It's better than 100,000 people going over and that are just window shoppers. I want to either get their address, get their email address, get something, make it hard. Don't make it easy. And you're getting those sales. Your conversions are going to go up. And, there you go. Your conversions go up. They like it a lot better.
Right. So just to be clear, and so people understand, if you're sending 100% of the traffic to Amazon, a lot of those guys are tire kickers. They're never going to buy. They're not going to convert. So it drags your conversion rate down on your product. And Amazon sees this as, oh, hey, your product's not converting. We're not going to show you as prominently as you might be shown if your conversion rate was much higher. Correct?
Right, exactly. And the other thing is going to cost you more too, because if you convert better on Amazon, if you're, and they're doing it to make money. So if we know, or if Amazon knows that this product over here is going to make you money, well, I'm going to shake the dice and we're going to promote this company over here. And it's going to be what they do is it's a less of a click through or a click rate for you. So your cost comes down. So that guy that might be getting 3% is paying $1. The guy that's getting, 40% conversion is getting 25 cents or 50 cents or whatever, but it's a cheaper rate for them.
On sponsored ads. So that's what we're talking about, right?
On sponsored ads. Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. You know what? Yeah, I got to look at that URL. I want to see what the structure is, and maybe there's a way to append something to it to make it help with keyword ranking as well. Well, okay. So two good things. What else is new?
So this one is 100% not me. I opened up my email a half hour ago, and I went, Casey Goss. Viral Launch has sent out this incredible email. It's about digital coupons. Have you heard about this?
Digital coupons? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me
this
about it.
This is going to be great.
Okay.
So I'm trying to prep to come on here, and I see this, and now I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I'm going over here because I got my other monitor over here. But when you go under, it's under advertising now. And if you go under advertising, you're going to notice a new bullet called coupons, not promotions. You'll see promo, advertising, lightning deals, and now you're going to see coupons. These are digital coupons. So I looked at it and I went, oh my gosh. So what this allows you to do is, again, I think it's some 15 to 80% you can target, and they only last 30 days. They cost about 60 cents, and then you set the budget. So you set a budget for $500. When it's exhausted, it's done. You set a budget for $50, it's done. But what this will do is it'll show up on your product listing, and you can see it. There'll be a little badge there. You click on it, it'll say clip coupon, and then the person, gets the coupon automatically. So not only do you get that, but again, I'm literally saw this a half hour ago, but you can create and you could target market segments. So you can go after 5 different markets. So yeah, so it's just a little, we'll be playing around with it for a little while, but the next time we're on, or I'll show you off an email about what we found out more about it.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of information on that article. I've saved it for you.
Okay.
It tells you how to set it up. It's very simple. I just went in and I saw that we could set it up. So I was just playing around with it as we were waiting for the podcast to begin. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw it. The name threw me, but it was posted, I think a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, day before yesterday, in the Illuminati Mastermind Facebook group. And somebody was, Did you see it there? You didn't see it there.
No, I didn't see it there.
Yeah, and they were like, what is this? And it costs 60 cents. I think 60 cents. Is that what you said?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, 60 cents to do it. And people are like, man, the first movers are going to crush it with this. Eventually, everybody's going to do it, because if every single search result has a coupon, then the value goes away. But right now, if you're one of the first movers, I guess if you're listening to this podcast, Norm has told you, put it on there, because with the holiday season, you're going to stand out with that little bad boy on there.
Let me see. November, the biggest selling month. What can I use to leverage my product?
That's right. Yeah. What will make me stand out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So you know what? I read it. We've been so busy. I haven't done anything. I'm going to actually, I'm going to send this podcast over to my brother when he's done. My brother might have actually mentioned it to me as well, and have him start doing this stuff. And what's the percentage that you saw? It's between 15 and what?
I got it right here. Is that a typo? I had 5 to 80. I thought it was 15 to 80%, and they last 30 days.
Yeah, you know what? I'm curious. Now I'm gonna have to test this thing out as soon as we're done. I would kind of want to see. Actually, both of us can do this and come back on and talk about the results. Like, oh man, we saw a 200% increase or whatever the number might be in clicks.
It's new. It's November.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. So people in the Illuminati Mastermind are not gonna be like, dang it, Norman. but yeah, no, it's out there. You know, people are gonna see it. And if you guys are wondering, if you're listening to the first time, and you're like, who are these two guys? What are you talking about Illuminati? What is that? That sounds really weird. We have an advanced mastermind group, guys, called the Illuminati Mastermind. It's monthly training, and it's for advanced Amazon sellers. Okay, and we've got a lot of people in there. It's not cheap by any means, but it's essentially it gets rid of the tire kickers, I guess you could call it. People who are serious. And we have a conference every year that's super awesome. It's actually where I met Norm for the first time.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's really cool. So if you guys are interested in that, it's closed right now. The monthly training is closed to the public. We're going to be reopening it in the future. But if you want to get on the list to jump in when it does open, you go to illuminatimastermind.com. So if you can spell that. So that's it. Anyways, that's cool. Is there anything else? I mean, or you got more?
Yep. I went to a summit in Israel, and I just made a shout out. Hey, look at anything cool or anything I should be aware of, in November. And a buddy of mine sent this over. And again, it's great, when you go to these events, like the one that you're doing, because you get to network and you meet these people. So sure enough, this one came up. It's the shop and save fee reduction, nothing huge, but I'm just going to, I'm just taking a look at this note again. There's a fee reduction for anybody who is doing the 15% subscribe and save discount. You get, let's see, the product will receive $1.25 per order fulfillment fee, a reduction. So there's a reduction on these shop and save fees. Now, the next one, this is crazy. I don't know if and this is not verified, but I just heard about this a couple days ago about the discounting price. If you have a product listing on Amazon and the algorithm picks it up, and it feels that you're not at an optimized price, it can discount it.
Discount it. Yeah, I saw that. I did a podcast on that, actually. Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but basically Amazon, they were doing this too, and I'm hoping we're talking about the same thing. They wanted to compete with Walmart and different places, and if you're maybe $1.20 above what they're selling it on Walmart, Amazon will just go in there and reduce the price so that they beat that, but Amazon covers that spread themselves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Amazon is covering the spread. So it's to you, it's cool because you're still making the same amount of money. But the one caveat to this whole thing is that if you're basing your sales velocity at a certain price going into the holidays, let's say, and then suddenly Amazon goes, well, you know what? We want to compete with Walmart or whoever, right? And they drop your price by $3 or whatever the number is. And suddenly your sales go straight up and you're selling 3 times more units. I guess that's a good problem to have, but you could run out of inventory. It can mess up your whole inventory process because now, it's changed the velocity of units that you've been moving. So good issue to have, but I don't know. It could mess with some of that stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing to think about, like let's say you're on Jet or you're on Walmart and you do have a lower price. Just thinking about what you just said, part of Amazon's terms of service is that you always have the lowest price on Amazon. So I wonder if they can come back and hit you for that.
Down the road. Boy, can you imagine? That would piss people off, though, I think, if suddenly, because you have your margins, where you got to be at, and sometimes dropping the price $2 is a lot. I mean, that's a big chunk of your profit,
Yeah.
So I guess.
But not only is it your profit, but let's say that you've got something for $20 on Amazon, $18 over on Walmart or Jet. Okay, because you're lower at Walmart and Jet, I'm just wondering if Amazon come back to you and say, hey, look this is against terms of service.
What if you're over on Walmart at $18 and then Amazon now lowers you to $17.99, and you have a MAP contract with Walmart saying you will not sell it for anything less than they have it there, and now you're selling it for less on Amazon because they force your hand, and they essentially force you to break that agreement with Walmart.
Wow.
What about that one?
I don't want to think about it.
So there's a lot of little weirdness. You know what? That's kind of the cool thing about this whole digital era, right? It's like you run into these things that you've never run into before. And I remember this. I think you're of the age just like I am. We're still young, but we remember back in the day. When did you get into e-commerce, by the way?
1993.
Oh man, you beat me then. Yeah, I was in like 99. And I remember 99, it was like the 98, 99 was like the wild, wild west on the internet. You know, there were no laws. I mean, I guess there were basic laws, but they didn't know there was no word for spam email. There was adware wasn't a thing. Pop-up advertising, people didn't know what those were. They just thought it was part of the internet. It was crazy back then. So now we're running into some new parts of the e-commerce generation here with all this new stuff, but it's cool.
Here's another one. I got this 2 or 3 days ago from PayPal. PayPal, like I'm in Canada, and the Canadian government now has the right to go into your PayPal to monitor your transactions.
Really?
Yep, for tax issues, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing that's happening on the internet.
Yeah, cryptocurrency. That'll be the next big thing. Like, how are they going to jump into that and regulate it?
I got to talk to you more about that one.
Yeah. Have you invested? Do you own a Bitcoin yet?
No, I've been back and forth, and I'm seeing the post that you're doing, and I'm going, I got to get on that bandwagon.
yeah, it's interesting. It's exciting. It's like, oh, I own. If my friend Brad is Brad Mills. We did 2 podcasts on cryptocurrency. It's actually in the AMPM podcast archives, guys. If you want to see it, it's a few weeks old, but he expects, and he's on the board of a lot of these big companies for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that kind of stuff. And he says that within 3 to 5 years, he's certain. I mean, he feels very, very, very certain that they'll be worth at least 100,000, and they could even go up to 1 million. And so if you can own a Bitcoin right now and just hold it and not worry about the fluctuations because they go crazy, they'll drive you nuts, then you should be okay. But, like you said, people are like, man, I wish I would have got in. I could have got in at 300 not too long ago. Then it was 3,000. I was thinking about it. I'm like 10X. Now it's 7,200 as of today or something. It's crazy. Anyways, that's not Amazon. That's Bitcoin. So, okay.
Okay.
Is that all you got, Norm? Jeez.
No, I got 2 small. One's an older one. And, I just want, because we're in November, I don't want people to get suspended on Facebook for doing something against Facebook terms of service. And how do you protect yourself?
All right.
So all this is, you've probably already covered this, Manny. It's pretty simple. But, how do you, I used to own I did not own. Hypothetical situation, a person had many burner accounts at Facebook.
Okay.
And recently, Facebook has realized that, look, everybody's got burner accounts. Let's just recreate what we're doing. So now you can go into Facebook, you create your profile page, you go and you create a business manager account, and then you have these create ad accounts. And at first, when you start doing that, you might get I think it's 2 to 5 of them, but you'll have access to have 1,000 of these things, once you start advertising. And if you do something wrong, like I just had a buddy get suspended for life over supplements, and he didn't protect his profile account. So anyways, his profile account got suspended. If you do it this way, your profile account won't be suspended. You don't need burner accounts. They're just going to delist or suspend the brand page or the ad account that you've created. Yeah. So that way, like, there's so many people right now that are doing things wrong, like especially in supplement marketing. There's so many things you can't do on Facebook, and all of a sudden, people are just out there. They got a new product. They just went through a course, and here I'm going to go Facebook, boom, 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 and they get suspended for life.
So create a new account.
Yeah, so you have a profile account, like it could be your standard profile account. It's kind of scary saying that, but so like my profile account, and then I go and I create the business account, the Facebook business account, and then under the Facebook business account, you're going to see a button that says create create. I have it right here. create an individual ad account. Okay. And then you'll, what'll end up happening, the only thing that you have to kind of consider is whether you use the same credit card. So that in a hypothetical situation, you can go to a company like, I think it's privacy.com, and get burner cards, or your bank might have cards that don't require authentication. And you can just put, Rob Adams as the person, and you can have different credit cards to verify your Facebook page. So that's one thing you can do.
Interesting. So have you seen it? Is it possible? I guess anything's possible, but is it a thing like if you have a Facebook group, right? It's like for your local group that you have going, and you might have, right? Like you have 100 people, 200 people in there, and you start running ads on your account, and you get suspended because you run some supplement thing that they don't approve of. Does that affect your group, like the accounts that you actually manage?
It not if you set it up this way. It'll affect the supplement brand. But it's not going to affect the group or your profile.
Okay, that's good, because that would suck, right? If you're like, oh my gosh, there goes everything.
Yeah, and like for the credit card, it's not recommended to use the same credit card on 10 different ad accounts. So there are different ways. Like in Canada, there's different banks that we can go to, and I can, like the one credit card I can have 50 different people's names on it, and I don't have to authenticate, who they are.
So cool. All right. And you said you got one more?
Yeah, and this is a Shopify thing.
Okay.
And it's really simple. Okay. Like it's not a policy. It's not. I called Shopify and I said, can you give me something? Because I don't want this all to be Amazon, because we're e-commerce guys too. So Shopify's got a cool new app called Live View. I don't know if you've heard about it, but what it does is it just kind of puts everything real time. You can see if you put out a code, if the code's working real time. It kind of maps it out. And I think it's a free app. I'm not sure. But just take a look. Go to your Shopify account, go under apps, and go Live View. And just check out some of the stuff it does. It's really cool. Everything is real time. So if you're running a promotion, you can see where it's coming from, if the promotion's working. It's just a cool little tool to add to your app arsenal.
I thought this was going to be like a 10 or 15 minute catch up. Here we are 30 minutes later giving out gold. Just gold. I think a lot of this was pretty cool. So I think I want to have this conversation on a much regular basis. There's always stuff with Amazon is constantly changing and affecting things. Every week there's one new thing at least, right, that's popping up. So always. If you'd have me, I'd like to have you. How's that?
Perfect.
Pretty good. So this has been really cool, Norman. Guys, if you want to reach out to Norman, what is the best way for them to drop you a question if they have one?
The easiest is norm@amz.club.
All right. You want to give out your email on the podcast?
Yeah. You know what? I'm happy. I'm happy to answer people. Everybody who sends me something, I try to respond.
You're a brave soul. Awesome. Yeah. If you guys want to check that out, head over to ampmpodcast.com/Facebook, and you'll run into me and Norm. Norm, you burnt your beard, didn't you?
I did. I got the whole Yosemite Sam thing going on.
It looks like it's filled in though. That's good.
Well, that's called product, but it's literally.
There you go. Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the show, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this special episode. It's something a little bit different. It's kind of a news update. If you guys like this, post some comments and let us know, because if we don't know that you like something, then we typically move away from it and try to do other things. So say, you know what, Norm is awesome. Manny, you're okay, and this is cool. Keep doing it. So thanks, Norm. Appreciate it, buddy.
No problem.
And we'll talk soon. Make sure you slam the subscribe button, give that video a thumbs up, and share it. One final thing, if you want the most badassical Chrome extension for Amazon sellers, download the Helium 10 Chrome extension for free at helium10.com. The link is also in the description. What other topics would you like us to cover? Write them below in the comments.
You've been listening to the AMPM podcast, hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.